Welcome back to the Cosmic Mistress podcast. My name is Amanda, and today we have a really special episode. We have my fiance Light here, we have my friend Katie Calder here, and we have Will Caminanda. Am I saying that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Pleiadian channel here. He was already on Light's podcast. If you haven't checked that out, please go check it out. We rewatched it last night. It's amazing and beautiful and very empowering for anyone who's having a hard time being human. That was my biggest takeaway was I want more people to have access to this information and this feeling that I had while listening to you channel, because there's so much power that you were sharing as far as being a human and having this human experience, and that we are exactly where we're meant to be, doing exactly what we're meant to be doing. And we have so much choice. You spoke a lot about sovereignty too, but I would love for you to share, Will, a little bit around who you are, what you do, your gifts, and yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. Um, and yes, what you said is actually like my intention. One of my main intentions with my work is to really like empower people to remember that we are sovereign beings and that we're not less than because we're human. We're
Yeah.
actually very powerful because we're here and we can help Earth and the collective consciousness. And we're also opening up our channels to, the galactic contact. And so it's something that my guys, the Bleeds, often reminds us, and they want us to know that it is a collaboration. It's a co-creation. It's not that they're superior and
Yeah.
they're helping us, and we need them. It's really like a collaboration, and yeah, I feel very like blessed that I'm doing this work, and very grateful to my guides, but don't I don't feel that I'm special in any way. It's just I want everybody to feel special, that I want everybody to remember that, they too can channel, they too can connect with the spiritual realm and the higher dimensions and the multi dimensions, and that's like the main focus of my work. Yeah.
I love that. How did you get into channeling? What was your journey into understanding, knowing that you were a channel, and then advancing more into the work?
Yeah, I know it's cliche to say, but I always say that channeling is a journey, the same way that the spiritual awakening is a journey. It's not like one day we awaken and then we have the badge and we graduated and that's it, right?
Hmm.
It is a constant journey. The healing work is a journey. Um, in hindsight, I think I was already channeling before I call it channeling. So I'm a singer-songwriter too, and when I was studying songwriting, I had to write songs every week. And I started around the same time I started being very disciplined with my meditation practice. And I connected the dots that if I meditate, I could like download ideas for my songs.
Mm.
I started automatic writing, so just free writing. And then I was like, yeah, this is a good practice for me to start writing new songs. And so I would like write and maybe get a phrase or two or title of a song or sometimes a whole song. Um, there was one time that I felt the presence of my dad who made the transition when I was 8, and I've always been very connected to him, but there was one specific time that I feel like I co-wrote a song with him because I felt
Mhm.
his presence, and it was almost like he was saying the words, the melodies were just coming together. It was very quick, and at the end, I just cried because it felt so real. His presence was so like close to me. The message of the song was really special too. Um, and so that's one of the reasons why I say like everybody is a channel and we're all channeling in some way or another. even if you don't call it channeling, because channeling can be writing a song or writing a book or writing poetry,
Yeah.
painting, drawing, or even cooking, or dancing, right? But for me, I think that things started to become more, I want to say more serious, but that doesn't sound right. It's maybe even less serious, like more fun. Maybe
Yeah.
that's the word. When I
Mm.
started doing a lot of breathwork practice, I'm a
Nice.
breathwork facilitator, and I just remember having, and I still have, like the most amazing transcendental experiences just with breath, just breath.
Totally.
And I think I started to connect more with my guides and hearing and seeing more. Um, and at one point, I knew it was a team of beings that were with me. And in one of those solo breathwork practices, they gave me a name because they know that we're humans. We like names, and they said we were the guardians of love. I was like,
Mm.
that's such a great name. I love
It's
it.
so good.
And so I took that with me and I started channeling them. But then after a while, I started to become more familiar with the Pleiadians through a book called The Alchemy of Nine Dimensions of Consciousness by Barbara Hand-Clow, who channeled this material from the Pleiades. And I remember just reading that book and just going through so many synchronicities. It was almost like that book was my initiation to work with them.
Mm.
But then later, I realized that I was already working with them because in one of those solo breathwork sessions, they also said, by the way, we are the Pleiadians, we are the guardians of love. I was like,
I love that.
okay, yeah. So everything made sense because I feel like they are really the guardians of love.
Mhm.
Love is in that 5D state of consciousness. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love to, I also facilitate breath work, and it's been a really powerful tool to not only come back into the body, but like for clearing and opening and being available, and which is so important with channeling. But with somatic work, it's so important, and the human experience as well. Like that's where a lot of the empowerment comes from, I believe, is taking those somatic experiences and all of the tools like breath work, movement, embodiment, whatever it is, and using that in a way to facilitate more connection to some of these other people, other realms.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
you shared a lot too as far as the heart and the heart. All of the messages on the podcast that you did with Light, so much of it was so simple and so just all around the heart. And that's something that I really love too. Um, just coming back to the heart and the simplicity of that. I love how simple a lot of the messages that you shared were. Um, is there anything else? I would love for you at some point when you're feeling called to go into channeling, if that's something you're open to.
Yeah, sure.
Um, and also to anything you want to share around channeling, the way that you channel, before going into that.
And he's a class too.
What's that?
And for people who want to learn channeling, Will has a class as well, and a Patreon.
Yeah.
And
community
and an Instagram. Yeah, sorry. I don't know. I'm a big fan.
You can talk as much as you want, baby.
I'm a big fan. Watching we watched the podcast again last night, and I just am so impressed. I talked to so many spiritual people, and there's so many lovely people on planet Earth. But I'm so excited to be friends with you, Will. Seriously, like I'm not looking at the camera, I'm like looking at your face now, and I have such respect for you and the channeled experience that we had. I'll like tear up thinking about it. It was just so beautiful. So thank you for
Yeah, it was really, really powerful.
Thank you for facilitating that. Yeah, and I went back into it again. We happened to be in the bath, an Epsom salt bath, which is helpful for me to be around all the minerals and the magnesium. And we of course had our crystals, and I just felt so held by that energy, like guardians of love and play and the Pleiadians, and you were just such a clean channel for that, even when everything was like falling apart on like the mics and everything. And it just, yeah, I'm gonna be quiet now.
You mentioned that on the podcast too, and that was the feeling I got too as you were channeling, of just like a sigh of relief almost, that like everything's gonna be okay. And like that is like it's almost like a hug. Like that's like the hug and the experience of that's all encompassing all of the words that are coming out. It's like no matter what, everything is going to be okay, and it doesn't have to be so hard.
Yeah, that's a very a very Pleiadian feeling and energy. You know, they're always reminding us not to worry, you know, not to take things so seriously. They talk a lot about the evolutionary path, and I think that something that's very characteristic of them, because with some other star beings, you might feel the same, but I feel like they all have like different energy signatures in a way, and they might give you send a message in a different way. You know, they might say
Yeah.
kind of the same thing, but saying it in a different way. And the Pleiadians, yeah, like you said, they're very big on the heart. And
Mhm.
when I got that message that they were like, "We are the guardians of love," like I just cried because everything made so much sense. It's like,
Yeah.
of course you are, you know, and they're really helping us in this ascension process. They often say, you know, 5D is the realm of love and
Mm.
unity consciousness and oneness, and we're in the shift. Like we're getting there. It might take a few thousands of years, but we're that's where we're heading, and that's a timeline that Earth has already chosen. And because they're kind of like the next level of our evolution, they're very present helping us because they've had their share as well of, you know, troubles and challenges in their evolution. So, and it's something that I always say too, is like one race evolves, everyone evolves, and that's true for us too. It's like when we awaken, when we heal, you know, your family feels that, your country feels, like the collective feels. It might not be tangible or visible straight away, but it does have an impact.
Yeah, it goes in all directions
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
And I also just wanted to touch on something that you said earlier about like the somatic experience and being in body. I think that's such an important piece of this work too, because I think in this journey we kind of go through phases, and I've had my phase where I just kind of wanted to connect and just wanted to stay
Totally.
connected, and you know, for me, I'd be happy to like just be breathing for the whole day and just like not be here. But then I actually realized that no, like I'm here, I'm meant to be human, I'm meant to be in the body. And the more embodied that you are, the more that you will connect with the multi dimensions, you know. So
Mm.
it for anyone who wants to be a channel for or who wants to develop that skill, want to connect with other beings in the spiritual world and the higher dimensions, it's very important that you stay in the body, that you take care of your body, that you eat well, that you exercise, that you feel good in the body. And that can be a challenge for a lot of like the star seeds, because
Totally.
some star seeds are not very familiar with being in the body, especially like the sort of new generation and new wave of star seeds. But it's just a really important piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I think there's a lot of people it's hard to stay in the body. Like sometimes just the going up and out and connecting feel is so beautiful and feels easier and more familiar, but it gets to be even more powerful when we stay in the body too.
Yeah. Because right now it's earth and heaven, right? We have to
Yeah,
be earth and heaven. It's not just heaven or just earth. You know, we really
totally.
need to embody and embrace that physical aspect too.
Yeah. And that's been the theme of my podcast too, is asking the question to different people is what would your heaven on earth look like?
Hmm. I think it's just enjoying the human experience,
Mm,
but also staying anchored into your heart. Because the heart is, I feel like is the bridge itself. You know,
totally.
it's when you think of the chakra system, for example, it's the heart is in the center, it's connecting the lower chakras and the upper chakras. And if your heart is not activated, you know, if you're not healing your heart, then it's just going to be very hard for these upper chakras to function in the way that they should, and even the lower ones too, because you know sometimes we're not. I don't. I actually want to say like the human collective have been functioning with lower chakras. Sorry. You got paused.
Reconnecting.
It's about to be something good. That's what that means.
Again.
Do you have any questions?
Hey,
Hey.
hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. Was it me?
I have no idea. It's all
Yeah,
good.
because you got paused and then you left the room and now you're back. Um, I'm checking my Wi-Fi. It seems okay, but there is a storm coming.
Of course there is.
So, so if anything happens, I'll just use my phone's
Okay,
Wi-Fi.
cool. So we were talking about the heart. You were talking about the heart being the bridge.
Yeah, yeah, and just as a human race, like we've been for many thousands of years, we've been functioning with only with this lower two chakras, and actually they were not really, you know, functioning very well. They were quite distorted. And so the work of working with the heart is really to align all of our system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even just to connect with the upper chakras, but it's just to align everything, even the lower ones. And that's why, you know, being in the body, having those somatic experiences, practices like breath work or yoga, things like that, that can really unify everything. And so it's not just heaven, and it's heaven and earth. And it I feel like everybody who's been through a spiritual awakening at some point, they just went through a phase where they just wanted to connect
Yeah, full send.
and yeah, and not be here. But then you start to get like, at least for my experience, like I was very aloof. Like I couldn't function. I couldn't be around people. I couldn't drive. I couldn't, you know, it was just very hard for me, because then you get so used to connecting with the spiritual realm and the subtle energies and the subtle frequencies that the most mundane thing in
Yeah, you
life,
forget how to
it's
human.
yeah, yeah. So that's why I think, you know, right now in this era, the age of Aquarius is about heaven and earth, body and spirit, and
Mm-hmm.
even like embracing your ego as well, loving your ego, not because sometimes we just, you know, hate the ego, but we have to love it. You know, that's
Yeah.
what the heart does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for that. Anything else you want to share? And then I would love anything that's wanting to come through while you're channeling.
No, I think I just wanted to share a little bit about my channeling journey and like just my channeling process. And I feel like one of the reasons, one of the things that I feel like I can help people with channeling is kind of first remind people that we're all channels.
Yeah.
That's like number one. But then also because channeling has become mainstream, especially like more in the spiritual field, but it's a good thing, I feel, because then more people are getting to know that it's possible to connect. But also it's channeling has been evolving over the years, and I feel like in the past it was a very like it was like a ritual, right? It was a very like out of body experience. People would go into very deep trances, and it was really an out of body experience. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't channel by yourself. Like you had to have people around and just ask the questions and things like that. And I feel like right now it's becoming, because we're more unified even with our higher self, the multidimensional aspects of ourselves. Um, what I do is I feel like it's more like a blended consciousness type of channeling where I'm still present. So I'm not necessarily out of my body. And in the beginning, I felt like I needed to be more completely out of the picture. But I've been learning that it's okay. Like I can still be here and be present, especially like when I'm doing my group channelings and sessions with clients, because like I still have to know that I'm here and I'm in this linear space and time, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that it's a good thing that there are more channelers in the mainstream, but I also think that everyone has a different style. So sometimes you see one and then you think everybody has to look like that. But it's I say it's just like singers, you know, like we're all singing, but like we all have a different tone, a different way of performing. So
Totally. Yeah. Thank you for that. It's interesting too, you know, like you shared on Light's podcast that you felt like high or had like a lot of energy after you channeled. And I've also heard a lot of people get really tired. So I think it's,
yeah.
you know, different for everyone. And it doesn't have to be this huge, like crazy experience in order to be connected. Oh, we froze again.
No.
Oh, you're back. Oh, no. I don't know if he would. He hasn't really done DMT on the podcast. He usually just does kind of, unless he did with you.
I'm going to plead the fifth. Ding.
All dissolve.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, you're back. I'm
We're
sorry, it
back.
could be me, but
I
I'm
don't
just
think so.
switching to my
It's on our end too. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's your fault.
yeah. Just to be safe, I put it on my phone, so because it's raining. So if anything happens with the Wi-Fi, we're good.
Cool. Thank you. Uh-oh.
Hey, you're back.
This is why we're just gonna fly you here to America, and
We'll have it in person. We'll have it in person.
we'll do seminar here, and then you can do both public channeling, private channeling at the Sanctuary of Manifestation, and do an entire course on how we all can be better channels for ourselves and others.
Yeah,
and
a
for our
channeled
community.
workshop.
A channeled workshop. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds amazing. Sounds
Figure
very
it out.
fun. Yeah. I just to be safe, I put it on my phone, so I think we should be good. Yeah, so you asked about if I'm tired. Some people say that they're tired, right? After they're channeling. For me, sometimes I feel tired too, but it's like a mixture of tired and high at the same time. I feel like most of the times I get more energy after like a channeling session.
Yeah.
I sweat a lot as well. That's why like I'm always drinking water. I put like electrolytes as well. But everyone has a different different experience.
Totally.
Yeah. So would you like me to do some channeling?
I would
for
love
you?
that. Yes, please. We would love that.
Yeah.
Can I?
Okay.
Yes, you may.
I know Lightstone loves to talk. So
You're here for a reason. You may speak.
it's not just to look pretty. So Amanda has this lovely co-braided. Here, would you like to hear it, Crystal? This lovely co-braided tool, tools and toys for communication to the Pleiadians and through a channel of the Pleiadians. Will, maybe you can share with us, and the Pleiadians as you channel can share with us how you might suggest she and we utilize these tools, and other people and other listeners can build their own relationships also with the Pleiadians through their own harmonic resonators. It can be a crystal pyramid if they so choose, or something else.
Or even just their heart.
Bingo. Ultimately, it is just through our hearts. Of how we can be more open and receptive to you, to the channel, to the Pleiadians, and to ourselves, and leveraging these tools as toys, as learning vehicles of play.
Yeah. I have my crystal here too.
Love
it.
A good one.
Yeah. I think like I'm happy to like turn up the thing that's coming through. It's you're right, like they're tools and toys. I like how you put it. But the heart is sort of like the main, like the engine, you know, and you can use them as tools. Like I love using my oracle cards as well. So these are all tools. I love using my tuning forks. So these are tools that can help you. And you know, if the crystal is something that you feel connected to and it helps you to connect, use them. If the tuning forks is something that helps you, use them. Anything that has this crystalline energy, that has sound, I think that's something for me that helps a lot. Like even if you just like sometimes hum or do some ohms and just kind of stay in that, just feel the vibration in your body, because we're sound, right? We're beings of vibration, frequency. That can really help as well to bring that connection. But yeah, it's always the heart, connecting with the heart and allowing the heart to expand and be that multidimensional tool. They always say that your heart is your multidimensional tool, and whenever I have to say this, I want to laugh because I've said this so many times, but it's true. It might be the first time for someone, you know. And
totally.
It's really like you said, simple, but it's really like the I think one of the most important messages that they want us to know.
And sometimes it takes like 8 to 10 times or however many times it does to hear the same message for it to actually land within your system. So keep saying it.
And sometimes we need reminders. I say it too. I feel like I'm a broken record with that, but
we need to remind ourselves.
Myself too. To
Yeah. How about then maybe we can do like a quick meditation to connect with the heart, and then you can join us, and everybody watching or listening can join too, except if they're driving. So if you're driving, don't do that. All right. So I'll invite everybody to just close your eyes. And then whenever you're ready, just take a deep and long breath through your nose into your heart. Whenever you're ready, exhale through your mouth. And just continue to bring awareness into your heart space. And if your mind is a little busy right now, you just bring the awareness slowly down from your mind to your heart. And again, whenever you're ready, just take a deep and slow breath through your nose into your heart, feeling the expansion in your chest. And when you exhale, you can sound or give a sigh. And just noticing your heart space, your heart center, feeling lighter and more expanded. And just one last time, take a deep breath whenever you're ready. Through your nose, into your heart. When you exhale, just sound out whatever wants to come out. And just notice how more expanded your heart feels, your chest area, your upper back, even your arms, your shoulders. And just take some time to find the very center of your heart. Just notice your awareness landing in your heart center. And as it lands, you can see this beautiful ball of crystalline light in the center of your heart. And maybe there's a color for you that's coming up, or some shapes, or just a feeling. And your heart center is your safe space to feel and to connect with all the multidimensional aspects of yourself, your guides, your higher self. And just imagine this ball of light now turning into a pillar of light, descending through your solar plexus, and your sacral chakra, and your root chakra, moving through your legs and piercing down through the ground beneath you, moving through the inner earth, all the way to the very center of Mother Earth, that crystalline core. And just for a moment, feel your mother holding you, supporting you, grounding you, and loving you unconditionally. And bring your awareness back into your heart. And this very same pillar of light is now moving up through your throat chakra, your third eye, your crown, moving up through the skies, out into the stratosphere, connecting each and every one of you to your higher self and your spirit guides team. And you are now anchored into your heart, grounded and connected. And this is a simple process that you can do to connect with your guides. And if it is your intention to connect with the Pleiadians, you can just mentally invite them in and say, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your love. And the Pleiadians are here and they're saying the same. They're saying, we thank you. We thank you for your presence. We thank you for your being. We thank you for your love and your openness to want to connect with us. Yes, it is through the portal of the heart that you are able to connect, not just with the higher dimensions, but also with Mother Earth, with other beings that are near you or far from you geographically. It is also a magnet, because when you tap into your heart, you can also invite in the beings and the frequencies that you want to connect with. We do encourage and recommend that you take some time every day to do this simple practice of just grounding, connecting with the earth, connecting with the higher dimensions, but you always start with the heart. Remember that, yes, your heart is your multidimensional tool, and it is the bridge, it is the portal. And once you are anchored into your heart, you are ready to open up your channels to connect with any being that you might want to connect with, any type of energy that is vibrating in love and light. So this is an important part of the process too. You always want to set intentions to connect with the highest frequencies of the universe. You want to make sure that your heart is open and is in the right place, and you're always coming from love. And your heart is also the center of your electromagnetic field. And so when you want to be in charge of your field, okay. Okay, we're back.
Great.
We'll just take from where we stopped. Did you hear about the heart and the electromagnetic field? That's where we stopped. Yeah, so they were saying that, if you want to be in charge of your field, of your space, the heart is the center of your electromagnetic field, of your torus. And so the practice of connecting with your heart, which some of you may see as a meditation practice or as a spiritual practice, is really to strengthen your energy field through connecting with your heart. And you can do that before any kind of meeting, before going out of your home, before a date, before a meeting with your business partners, with your friends, because you are able to then add whatever feelings, whatever frequencies you want to nurture in your field. And this is also, some of you might be seeing this as a protection practice, but it's not so much about protecting your energy from unwanted energies, even though for the linear mind that's the best explanation, but it's more about strengthening your own field, owning your own space and your own frequency. And from this space, you're also able to be more discerning of what information that you are consuming, or of what energies are present in the environment, whether it's physical or online or invisible in the subtle realms as well. You are able to easily identify the energies that are a match to your frequency and energies that aren't a match to your frequency. And so if you do that on a daily basis, you won't necessarily need to maybe set spoken boundaries, because this is just your energy field that's speaking, and energy speaks. Oftentimes we want to say louder than words.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other question that you want to ask, or anything that's coming up for you that you want to share?
I just want to say thank you for being with us today and for sharing the heart-centered message of the Pleiadians. And I'm not sure if I have a question, but just a reverberation of truth. Whenever someone is deeply connected with the Pleiadians, it seems to be a very consistent message of love, a very consistent message of joy, a very consistent message of not taking it so seriously. And if there is a kind of yearning to connect with a specific star system or star cluster or multidimensional group, would you say it is important to be specific, or to connect deeper with the physical realm, connect deeper with the body, and just allow whatever awareness is necessary or is wanting to come through?
Both. The Pleiadians are saying both. But I also just want to say, I always feel a very strong presence of them on my end, but I'm also feeling a very strong presence on your end too. I feel like they're very close to you, and you all have a connection with them. Probably they're part of your team of spirit guides. They're just, they're very happy to be connecting with you, and I feel like this is almost like an activation for you, potentially for some people listening too, of like opening up the channels and just really feeling the presence. Like I'm getting a lot of like just feeling, like I feel like all of you are like feeling. I don't know if that resonates with you on your end.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. But to your question, so they're saying both. You can be very intentional, but you can set the intention and release expectation. If you're attached to the intention, then you're not really allowing yourself to surrender to the experience, and you're not fully in your heart, because then there's an aspect of your ego that's still wanting, because you want to connect with that specific star race. And there could be other beings, and not even just star races, but just other beings that are ready to connect with you. Your spirit guides team are always present with you, even if you're not aware of who they are. And there are many different types of guides as well. Some of you might feel a very strong connection maybe with your spirit animals. Some of you might feel a very strong connection with your ancestors and your loved ones. Some of you might feel very strong connections with the star races, with the star beings. And the fun part is that you can be connected to all of it, but you don't have to be connected to all of it all the time. Your guides will slowly reveal themselves as you continue to expand your consciousness and open your heart and feel more of that connection with the spiritual and the subtle realms. And one thing that we'll say too is most of the time, your guides will reveal themselves at a time that you need, for something that you need. Maybe you are going through some kind of healing from heartbreak healing, and you might actually need a very comforting, loving energy from your deceased grandmother. That is part of your guide. And maybe the Arcturians can really help you with something else that you're going through. And so they will always be revealed at very specific times. And so they know when to step in. And also you can just stay open for them to step in when they need to step in. But that doesn't mean you can't set intentions to connect with certain beings. But it can happen, and it might have happened to you when you set an intention to connect with a specific being and something else comes through, someone else comes through, and they will always bring a message that you need to hear. That doesn't mean the other guides don't like you or they're not ready for you. Is just that in that moment, they you might be able to receive that message from that specific being more easily.
And when opening from the heart space, do we have to be wary of energetic protection, or is that protection within itself?
Yes, protection within itself. It's a good way of putting it. When you are centered in your heart, you can visualize your torus field, your electromagnetic field. It can be an egg or it can be a bubble. You can put whatever energy you want inside this bubble, inside this energy field. Intention is just so powerful. When you set an intention, you are literally sending out frequency signals out into the cosmos. And so whatever intentions you're sending out will be reflected back to you. That's why most of the listeners have heard before that thoughts have power, right? You have to be very mindful of your thoughts, because thoughts are also frequency and vibration. Everything that you're thinking, you're sending out into the cosmos, and it will be reflected back to you. So if you're thinking positive things, positive things will be reflected back to you. If you're thinking negative things will be reflected back to you. And the same with intention. If your intention is to be in your field, to be sovereign in your heart, then this is the protection you need. Your protection is not so much about taking the shield and putting up a wall. It's more about looking within, strengthening your heart, and from your heart, your field will be so strong that nothing can break it. And if there's anything that doesn't feel aligned, that doesn't feel a match to your vibration, you're able to recognize that. So we always say that when you are in your heart center, you are sovereign. Because when you are in your heart center, your field is strong. And not just that, your capacity and your ability to recognize energy is also very strong. So if you're feeling that something is off, your intuition is on, your field is on, and so you're able to say, no, this is not welcome here. This is not a match to what I'm vibrating. And that can also be a reminder. Maybe I need to just go back to my heart and just set that intention of love and light again. It is more simple than most people think. If you are thinking too much about protection, you're actually focusing on the negative energy. So if you're focusing on that, then it's very likely that it will happen, because then there will be, we want to say, maybe holes in your field where these negative energies can come through. But if you're focusing on the heart and the frequency of love and light and strengthening and being in your frequency, in your bubble, then you'll be able to recognize the frequencies that are not a match to that.
Might add as well, if people find that they are interacting with something that then feels negative, if you are adept at dealing with negative entities and energies, then you can interact. But if you don't need to interact with those negative entities. And you can then call on, it's like in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or Billionaire or whatever, phone a friend. You phone a battle mage, because we all have different skills and abilities and, ways in which we can be of benefit and service in this, divine play. And in some of the frenemies are very convincing and will very enthusiastically remind you that they are also playing, sometimes in an aggressive way. And if you don't want to play aggressively, then you shouldn't play with them. And you can swap out with someone who's happy to play aggressively. Lightstone is one such person, and so there are others. But that's not it. We don't have to fall into the gravitational well of another being's desire to play with us. We can emancipate ourselves from that and exist with healthy boundaries when mitigated through that toroidal field of the heart. That is my commentary here. It's a very long way of saying phone a friend, phone a battle mage exorcist.
Yes, and you can also phone your angel.
Yeah, right.
You're not alone. You're never alone, and you don't have to do this alone. Your angels are with you. We're joking, but that's true. Your angels are with us.
I ain't joking.
Our
joking.
Archangels are always with us. You can always call in the angelic forces to help you if you feel like you need. And even if you don't feel like you need, they're always ready to assist you. Your guides are ready to assist you. Your dragons are ready to assist you. You're not alone. And like, if you knew, how many beings are, working with you and for you, nobody would feel fearful of anything, because they will know, like, I'm not alone. I don't have to do this alone. If I'm fearful, which is absolutely okay if you feel fear sometimes, but you just remember the fear can also be a guidance system for you to remember, oh, I'm not alone. Why am I feeling fear? Let me call in my archangels, let me call in my dragons, let me call in the Pleiadians, and then go back into your heart and into your center, and know that you are never, ever alone.
I have one more question around, I feel like around 2012 and 2015 and 2016, there were pretty large openings for many around their connections to their galactic teams, to their cosmic lineages, to their larger guardians, angels, guides. And I've been super interested in the past couple years where many who potentially opened up to these realms have, in the recent years, gone through some fear or gone through some almost like pushing away of it, and personally witnessing a cycle of people saying that, like, when you're an open channel, when you're opening to entities, beings, other things, using the words as like demonic, as that if that is, you don't know what you're opening to. If you're an open channel and you're bringing through entities, that is bad and that is demonic and that is not of the light. I'm interested in what you have to say about this.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've talked about the importance of being in the body.
Mm-hmm.
This is a part of it as well. Feeling like you are owning not just your field, but also your humanness and your human experience. We want to say, and we've touched on this, we've been saying this word for this message, and maybe that's like the core message of this message is the discernment piece. And discernment is not so much a mental thing. If it's becoming too much of a mental thing, it's analyzing and making choices based on rational thinking rather than feeling the energy. So when you're in your heart center, you are sovereign. That's a very simple message too, that it's simple and it's easy to remember. When you are in your heart center, you are sovereign. You are able to discern what is light and what is not for you. What is truth and what is not truth for you. And the truth can be very subjective because it might be truth for you, and it might not be truth for others. But when it comes to connecting with energies that are not of the light, it is a very individual experience. And we say that if this is happening, there is an aspect on that individual that is in resonance with that other energy. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad people or that they are invoking those negative forces and energies. It just means that there is an aspect in the system, in the field of that individual, that is a match to that frequency. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but it can be seen as an opportunity for more healing, or for more discernment, or for more work, shadow work, and healing work in that person. So it is not so bad if the person is aware of that and eventually becomes aware of that. It is bad when the person is not aware of that, and that person just becomes stays in a loop of that frequency and of that fear, and it's almost it's not as if it is, that energy becomes like literally attached to the system of that person, and then it's harder to get out of that. It is possible, but it's just harder. But the way to get out of that is through consciousness. It's through awareness. And we've been saying this for so long, like, your power is your consciousness. Right now, you might think that the war is a physical war, and we don't want to say, we don't like the word war, but if you're thinking of beings that want to take control, they don't want to take control over your mind or your body. They do that through consciousness. And so it's a battle of consciousness. The more people that are not aware, the more people that are in very low levels of consciousness, vibrating in fear, vibrating in duality and separation, then that's how these other forces win. So they want your consciousness, and through your consciousness, they can control your mind, they can control your body. And then there's no way that people that are, let's say, manipulated by them will find connection with their heart. And so if they are aware, that's the biggest step that one can take, because then they remember that they have free will. They remember that they can connect with their heart. They remember that they're not victims. They remember that they can indeed become part of the solution and become the sovereign beings that they've always been, that they are. So everything that we're saying is actually a return to your inherent sovereignty, to your inherent inner power. You're all remembering that. The more people that remember that, the more people that become aware, that continue to heal, to expand their consciousness, connect with their heart, remember that they can do things, that they can help others, that they can be of service, that they can connect with other beings who are on the same mission. The more people on your planet that do that, that's how you gain back your collective consciousness.
Thank you. Do you have a question?
Gratitude. I'm excited, Will, for you to come and for us to 3D physically play and enjoy and share and hang out here in Colorado and
Bring more people into their hearts.
Yeah.
that sovereign field.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
so much.
So we're just gonna close this transmission in gratitude and in love and in joy, in fun. Thank you. Thank you, the Pleiadians. Give me just 1 second. I'd love to hear from you, like how you felt, how, what's the experience for you?
Similar to how I felt listening to the podcast that you did with Light when we re-listened to it last night. Even just listening to you channel brings me into my body and brings me into my heart very, very quickly. And then it's almost like that is the lens of my whole experience now. It's like that's how I'm interpreting everything, is from there, while also holding like the bird's eye view of everything, but from here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's amazing.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I felt lots of tingling in my fingers and toes and like lots of rolling chills. And I feel like often when receiving truth or receiving something that my heart feels is truth, it's almost like I actually can't hear what you're saying in the moment, but my cells are opening and receiving the message. And so I'm having this experience right now of like my whole body nodding, hearing, agreeing, but my mind just totally being out of the way. And like if I was to tell you what you just said to me, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But my body's like, I received it though. I fully received it.
Yes, I totally understand, because I feel the same when I'm receiving channeling. And sometimes what happens to me too is like I hear the words, but the messages are different.
Yeah,
like,
they're not like they're
yeah, it's almost like I'm hearing the words, but they're saying something else that I needed to hear, it's weird to explain, but I get it.
Yeah.
Like your body is downloading it.
Totally. And like,
yeah. You want to share? Where's press?
I love this shit. It's great. It's my jam. Where's Ben Duffy at?
I feel for you.
It feels amazing. There is so much that we don't see and perceive. And there's so much here that is obfuscated or intentionally not in our frame of reference. It's like you can't see a rainbow if you look at the full ultraviolet, spectrum. It would be totally obfuscated by all the other beauty. But we have a very limited light spectrum that we see, and because of that, we get rainbows and sunsets and sunrises. And yeah, one of the things that came up for me was I have chosen and am oriented to be almost like a trolling magnet, like of a ship. If you have like a ship that throws like a trolling thing, but imagine a magnet dragging on the bottom of the sand and will pick up fragments of things. Those fragments of things are dark and or predaceous entities, predators. And I have chosen to orient that way to hopefully clean out the ocean, and it's good for the predators and good for the prey and good for the guardians of love. But not everybody needs to do that. and probably not everyone is well equipped to do that. And it is nice also then for me as one of the magnet trolling things to then be reminded of why we are doing this, and that there are places that are not so dark and perceivably mucky, like with muck at the bottom of the ocean. It's not bad. There's actually a lot of nutrients there and a lot of learning. And there's just a lot of gratitude for me for other people to have levels of expertise that is similar and complementary to mine. So I can be in my area of expertise and then branch into these other places too, to find softness and stillness in the ways in which I troll for darkness, right? And so my trolling is a salve of healing, like bison balm is the healing salve, and less like a cutting knife or like Manjushri's blade. And Manjushri is a bodhisattva, but it is still a blade that cuts, or the Shivatic laser is still a laser. And I want to be more of a healing salve, a gentle light, while still simultaneously trolling for darkness, but with the intention to heal. That's just what came up for me. And it's a constant reminder, because I feel that in you as an individual, Will, and then also feel that through your channel with the Pleiadians. And I mean, there's like, technically we see 7, but I think there's like 14 stars in the Pleiadian constellation. There's a lot. There's a lot, like there's a lot going on over there. And the whole galactic history is a lot. I think I mentioned I've gone through the Galactic Akashic Records certification. I learned much there, and I've had my own experiences, and it's a whole epic saga of war and betrayal and love and rebuilding and so much. And we're this little but important speck there, here on planet Earth, with like the Syrians and Orion's belt, and Star Wars being a foil for the Orion Wars and all of this stuff. There's so much. And then I come back to, how can I be a good husband? How can I be a good father? How can I be a good friend? And that's what came up for me.
Yeah, and that's super important, right? Because you can channel the whole Pleiades star cluster, but if you're not being a good father, a good spouse, a good son, or whatever, then you're missing the point, right, of like being here on Earth as humans. So thank you for sharing this. And I did feel a lot of the Pleiadians energy in your presence too. I think I could see like maybe 3 or 4 like on the upper area of your field. And so I don't know if you already connect with them, but they're ready for you. Like, and maybe that feels like
I've been charging this guy for years. I like Electra. I don't know how familiar you are with the different, but Electra, that one, man, there's something about Electra. Yeah. Not in a non-sexual way. Actually, like I harmonize as like a simpatico with specifically with Electra, one of the sisters. Yeah. Very strongly. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything you want to share as far as your experience with that? And then I'd love for you to also share anything you want to promote. I know you have an online community and a Patreon, and I know your Instagram, and we'll put all of that in the show notes too, but feel free to use the space right now just for you. We love you. We're so grateful to have had this experience with you.
Thank you.
So this is for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure. I always have fun channeling. And I think like the more I do this, from a human perspective too, like the more you do something, I think the more relaxed you are too. Like I think in the past, sometimes I'd be like worried like about the questions and things like that. But that was like just my ego thinking like, what if I don't know how to answer something, right? But that's just my ego. Like I get
like, oh
these
wait,
things
I'm not
sometimes.
actually answering it though. It's not me.
Yeah, like part of me, but it's like you're not alone. And I, even to this day, I get these things like because I have my Instagram. It's at Pleiadian channel, and every day there is a short message, a channel message from the Pleiadians, and
They're
every now and
beautiful.
then
Go and read them. They're very beautiful.
thank you, thank
Mhm.
you. But every now and then I just kind of go like, what if there's one day that I can't write the channel message, and then like immediately they just go like, silly, like
Yeah.
we're here, don't be afraid, you're not alone. And there
Aw.
was never a day that it didn't come through. And I think that's also like a good practice just for me, and maybe also for everybody too, because the spiritual practice or the channeling practice, it is a lot about not judging the practice and being detached of of what comes through. And we as humans, we tend to be like, very like judgmental, or even if we're not judgmental, like we tend to assess things as good or bad. Like if you
Totally.
do a meditation, it's like, oh, today was really good. And then the next day, oh, my mind was chatty, it wasn't
Right.
good. But the real practice is show up
Right.
and don't judge the practice. And so I've been learning, even through writing the daily messages, that, in the past I would like reread it and question, like, is this good? Like, should I really post this? Like, what if people don't like this? And now I'm just like, this is what comes through today. Boom,
Yeah,
post
this
it.
is it.
I don't overthink it. I don't judge it. And I trust. So I think that's also like a practice of trusting.
Yeah.
And it's always like interesting to connect with like different people in different groups, because I always say like the channeling experience is a co-creation. So today was this specific experience because you're here. So you're also bringing your energy to the field, and your questions and your energy. So that, that makes it always very unique experience. I do that every month with my community on Patreon. It's called the Starseed Grid.
Which
So
we
if
are
anybody
joining.
wants,
I haven't signed up yet. I feel so bad, but but seriously, we're joining.
no problem.
And we're gonna, and
Thank
I'm
you.
at least I don't want to tell
We're
what
gonna
it is.
promote it.
And we're gonna do your channeling course too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I want to get
We'll do it
better at
together.
this. Yeah, I want to get better. So,
Yeah, and it's it's just a lovely community, and you would be so welcome. I'd love to have you there. And it's, we meet, we connect, and we channel, but I think also like it's evolving into bringing more of you too, and like maybe you're channeling, you want to share something too,
Mhm.
So I have this one session called Light Weavers session, so that we are all weaving light and
I love that.
co-creating. And so maybe you want to share a meditation, or you want to share a channeling message, or a poetry, or whatever it is. Like it's a co-creation. So I feel like that's kind of like the future that I want to create and co-create, and that I envision. It's just all of us working together and sharing our gifts and our hearts. So that's like my little contribution to that. As you said, I do have my channeling course as well, which has evolved recently into a certification as well. So if anybody wants to like work one-on-one or even with groups, then that's a little bit of a longer path, but it's very fun to the groups. Like, I'm biased, like all of my groups are so amazing. Like the people that come to the courses, they're very connected and conscious, and they're beautiful souls.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just how it's evolving too. So
I love that. That's great. We'll put all of the links for all of that in the show notes too.
can I ask you a question?
You're gonna ask me a question?
No, can I ask you?
Yes, you may ask him a question.
I have a question. Will,
yes.
you don't have to decide right this moment, but what would you be most inspired or enlivened to share during a like weekend workshop here in Colorado when we fly you out and like do a thing? It's a two-part question. I sometimes have 5-part questions, so just two is like, I know I'm trying really hard. What might you think you want that workshop to focus on? You don't have to decide now. You just kind of spitball, but people who will come to the workshop will watch both the podcast you with me and we'll watch the one with Amanda. And much of the one that I did, at the end of it, there's like 10 minutes of me just like fucking talking that didn't get picked up, which is fitting. part one to the question. Part two, how can a person best prepare themselves to come to this workshop that you will be doing in Colorado at our home, the Sanctuary of Manifestation? We have a very nice home here. How can a person show up fully? So when I did my podcast, I've got all my like stuff in my bag somewhere, but I like brought my portable altar and I showed you, like, I showed up so fully because I respect you. And I just knew in my heart, but I like did the preparatory practice, and I know how to do that because I'm a crazy person. So I know how to do that. What do you suggest other people to do who are going to sign up for this workshop that we don't even yet know 100% what it is, because it's not my job to tell you how to do your job? And then how can a person show up for that workshop and really get the most out of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's coming to mind is again the word co-creation, which is something that for me has been very present over the last couple of years. I think it's whatever the people want, and we're all at different levels in our journey. I think it would be, if I were to think more practically, like with my Capricorn self mind, I think that the channeling would be something really cool to like just help people connect to their hearts and open up the channels.
And that's
then I think
co-creating and collaborating too with whoever's there. It's like whatever is needed based on the energy that's there.
Yeah, and both with the people, the physical people, and the non-physical people too. And then I think like a good preparation for that, I think it would be to work on the heart, to like doing that like a daily practice of meditation, doing like breath work, and just like just focusing on healing, but not necessarily from like a perspective of like I'm broken, I need to heal, but just more of like, for me, when I say healing, I'm talking about the journey to the remembrance of who you truly are in your essence, right? So you're healing not because you're broken, but because you want to reconnect with that essence of light and love. So whatever it is that one can do to just continue to open the heart so that they can arrive, and the heart is at a really good place, and so then the experience will be more powerful, and the activations will be more powerful as well, because the heart is in the right place. If one comes with the mindset has to be in the right place too, but the mind is not necessarily the leader, right? Because and if it is, then let's bring it to the heart, because then that's how they can experience the experience more fully. Hope that makes sense.
The last thing I want to say, my title for what I believe my team, which I would include you, Will, as, literally are called Guardians of Love, and then in parentheses, and play. So I think I mentioned that before. I just want to throw that out there. It's written like a bazillion million times in hundreds of pages of documents that I've written. She can attest to this. So it's like very well. And again, I'm sure other people also use these terms, but it is as though you are reading out of a document that we both have co-created someplace else and are remembering here.
Yeah,
together.
It's like a missing piece of the book, like a missing.
It's wild. I love it. It's great. And so
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like a scavenger hunt.
It's fantastic. Yeah. You're back. So kudos to you,
You're
brother.
back.
Well met. And yeah, I'm just excited to continue collaborating.
Yeah, thank you so much, Will.
I love that. I love that. The gardens of love and play and fun. I love that. I have so much fun when I'm with you. So that's perfect.
Dude, you're gonna love Colorado. It's great. We're gonna go to Ember and Ice. We're gonna hit the sauna. It's the trench over there. It's gonna be really good. So
yeah, and this is fun too. Channeling is fun. Talking about these things are fun. So
yeah, it all gets to be fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, thank you so much, Will. And I'm sure we'll talk to you soon. And anything else you want to say?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Much love to you, and much love to everybody who's watching or listening too. Thank you.
Yeah.